You are 18 years old, wiping grease from your hands in a Detroit auto shop when the letter arrives. It is July 1943. Outside, the summer heat makes the pavement shimmer. Inside, your boss is arguing with a supplier over the price of a radiator belt. Your girlfriend Clara is waiting on the porch of her parents' house because you promised to walk her to the diner. You have ordinary plans. Save enough for a down payment on a house. Marry her in the spring. Open your own garage one day. Nothing heroic, nothing complicated. Then the mailman places the envelope on the hood of the truck. Your boss stops talking. He fought in the trenches during the First War. He knows what government paper feels like. Your mother cries when you bring it home. Clara does not. Not at first. She sits beside you on the porch step and holds your hand so tightly that your knuckles turn white. The letter says you must report for induction. Your life belongs to someone else now. On the morning you leave, Clara gives you a small brass pocket compass. She is smiling into the sun, the wind catching her hair. On the back, she has scratched 5 words. Find your way to me. You laugh, because the war is half a world away, and you do not want to admit how easily a man can get lost. You slide the compass into your breast pocket. It will stay there through training, across an ocean, and onto an island made of coral where almost everything else you carry will burn. The Marine Corps sends you to San Diego. They cut your hair, take your clothes, replace your name with a number, and teach you to obey before you have time to fear. You march until your boots fill with blood. You learn to strip a rifle in the dark. You crawl under barbed wire while instructors scream that hesitation will kill you. At night, men talk about home with the desperation of starving people describing food. That is where you meet Leo from Chicago. He played drums in a jazz club and can make every military ration sound worse by describing what he should be eating instead. Deep dish pizza, cold beer. He carries a pair of hickory drumsticks. He does not play. He just taps them on his cot when he is nervous, keeping a rhythm only he hears. There is also Corporal Vance, 26 years old, but he looks 50. He fought at Guadalcanal. He never raises his voice. He tells you that the men who brag loudest about killing usually freeze when the mortars fall. He tells you to watch the quiet ones. Then he points at Leo and says, "That one makes enough noise for 3 men, but he'll be all right." Leo grins. You believe Vance because he speaks like someone who has already survived the ending. Months later, you cross the Pacific in a troopship so crowded that men sleep on the steel deck. The air below tastes of diesel, sweat, and vomit. You are told Japanese submarines may be hunting the convoy. Every time the engines change speed, conversation stops. You imagine a torpedo tearing the hull open and the ocean rushing in before you can reach the stairs. Nothing happens. That almost makes it worse. Fear with no release has nowhere to go. Officers show you models of a coral island, Peleliu. They point to the airfield, the ridges, and the beaches. On the map, every problem has an arrow drawn through it. They say it will take 3 days to secure. Leo leans toward you and whispers, "Amazing how fast the war ends on a map." You nearly laugh. Vance does not. Before you deploy, Leo is tapping his drumsticks against the bulkhead. Vance reaches over and takes one from him. "You're giving away our position," he says. Leo asks for it back. Vance keeps it. He says he will return it when they reach the airfield. That becomes the promise. Small, stupid, important. September 1944. The heat is a physical weight. You climb down the cargo net into a tractor. Water splashes over the sides, hot as bathwater. Your pack contains ammunition, canteens, grenades, and everything the Corps thinks you need to survive. It feels heavy enough to pull you to the bottom. The tractor turns toward the beach. At first, the island is only a dark line of smoke. Then the coral becomes clearer. Burning trees, black sand. Naval shells tear through the sky with a sound like freight trains. The officer shouts that you have 1 minute. Leo is beside you. His face is pale from seasickness. Vance stands behind him, holding the hickory drumstick in one hand and his rifle in the other. Then mortar shells strike the reef. The sound is deafening. 30 seconds. You reach inside your jacket and touch the brass compass. Find your way to me. The tractor hits the coral reef. The ramp drops. The first men out are cut down instantly. Everyone moves at once. You go over the side. The water is deep. Your boots search for the reef and slip on jagged coral. Men around you are sinking, pulled down by their gear. You claw at the water, kick forward, and finally drag yourself onto the sand. The heat is 115 degrees. Leo appears a few yards away, gasping for air. Vance is nowhere in sight. Artillery strikes the beach in violent eruptions of sand and rock. You move forward 1 step at a time. There is no cover. There is no trench. The island is flat and exposed. A Marine beside you loses his helmet. He reaches for it. A bullet takes him before his hand drops. You keep moving. That is the first thing the beach teaches you. The moment you stop for someone, you join them. You reach a shallow crater and throw yourself inside. Leo lands beside you, breathing frantically. There is no medic. There is no officer. The beach has taken the 3-day plan and torn it to ash. You look back and see Vance. He is crawling toward the crater. For 1 second, relief hits you so hard you forget to breathe. Then you see the blood. Shrapnel has torn through his side. He pulls himself over the edge. He still has Leo's drumstick in his hand. Leo drops beside him. Vance tries to speak, but coughs blood instead. He pushes the wood into Leo's chest. You press your hands against Vance's side. He tells you to stop wasting your energy. He looks at you with the tired patience of a man who knows the truth. He points toward the airfield. "Keep moving," he whispers. Leo refuses to leave him. Vance grabs his collar with terrifying strength. "Go." You leave him there. For the rest of your life, you will remember the exact feeling of Leo's shoulder in your hand as you drag him away. Not the blood, not the explosions, the resistance. Leo fighting you because part of him still believes loyalty means staying. The war teaches him otherwise in 10 seconds. Inland, Peleliu proves the map was a lie. 3 days turn into weeks. The coral ridges are hollowed into fortresses. Machine guns fire from invisible caves. Mortars fall without warning. The days become a rhythm. Crawl, sweat, fire, thirst, survive. At first the bodies shock you. Later you sleep beside them because there is nowhere else to rest. Becoming used to that frightens you more than the dead. You write to Clara, but remove every true sentence. The island is hot. The food is bad. You do not mention that the compass is stained with blood. Leo changes. He stops talking about Chicago. He stops tapping rhythms. He just holds the drumstick. He turns it over. Vance had carved one word into the wood before he died. Breathe. It becomes a command, a prayer, and an excuse. In October, Leo is killed without a heroic charge. He is sitting beside you in a coral ravine, opening a tin of peaches, when a single mortar shell falls. You wake up coughing white dust. Your ears are screaming. Leo is lying backward. He is barely breathing. The drumstick is on the ground. You crawl to him. He cannot speak. He looks at you, and you know. You tell him about Detroit. You tell him about the jazz clubs he will play in, the cold beer waiting for him. He smiles because he knows you are lying. His hand finds the drumstick and pushes it to you. Then he is gone. From that day, you carry the stick. Clara's compass stays in your pocket. Leo's rhythm stays in your hand. 2 promises. The war ends. You return to Detroit in 1945. Your mother cries at the station. Clara looks exactly like her memory, but you feel completely different. She runs into your arms. You feel love and grief, but it comes through a wall of glass. Everyone expects the old you to step off the train. You try to perform him. You tell safe stories. The ocean was big. Leo was a good guy. You do not mention Vance on the beach, or the caves, or Leo in the ravine. At the auto shop, a mechanic drops a wrench on the concrete floor. You are under a truck before you realize you have moved. Ordinary life continued without permission. Its sameness feels accusatory. Clara learns not to touch you when you are sleeping. You buy a house, but you leave the drumstick on the nightstand. Your old future is here, but you do not know how to enter it. One evening, Clara sits beside you on the bed. She picks up the drumstick and reads the word. You tell her about Leo, and Vance, and the coral. Not everything, never everything, but enough. She listens without telling you to forget. She places the compass in your hand, and the drumstick in the other. Find your way back, she says. Just breathe. You marry that winter. Years pass. You open your garage. You have a son, then a daughter. To them, the war is a history book. Peleliu is just a name. They do not know that when the ramp dropped, there was no ending. You moved because staying meant dying, and you continued because the men beside you needed you. At 72, you return to the island with Clara. The beach is quiet. The coral is covered in green vines. The caves are silent. Near where the tractor landed, you take out the brass compass and the hickory drumstick. Vance's word is worn smooth. Breathe. For the first time, you understand it was not just a command to survive the fighting. It was a command to carry their memory forward. You place the drumstick in the white sand. Then you take Clara's hand. The ocean moves exactly as it did that morning, but nobody is pushing you now. This time, you choose the direction, and you walk away.